Welcome back to Let's Play Spore Trader. I am Alex, also known as Solinus Dracone. With me on this epic journey is Rambler81. Good afternoon, Rambler.
I don't recall this trip being voluntary per se, but yeah, I'll come along with you.
Well, kidnapping versus a joyride. What's the difference, really?
Do I at least have to be tied to the chair for this?
You do, yes.
Oh,
Okay, so we are going to pick back up on planet Earth with our absolutely ridiculous-looking beginnings of a kangaroo creature. Remember, we are doing an all-blue run, so the omnivore portion has been completed with the cell stage, where we have consumed a moderately equal amount of meat and veg, and now we begin... Oh my god, what did I do? What did I do? So anyways, yeah...
blocked it out of your memory already, did you?
Yep, so now the creature stage is all about being on the mix between aggressive and peaceful. There's an egg floating in the air there. I'm not certain that's how eggs work. But hey, you know what? It's an alien planet.
I'm not sure this is even how evolution works.
Just roll with it, man. Just roll with it. So, our goal in the creature stage is to do two things. Number one is to gather up bones, and also to interact with other creatures. The bones will contain new parts. The creatures, well, basically when we kill an alpha or befriend an alpha, we'll also get another new part. And also if we kill an alpha, we will get another new part. So there's not really any downside. So how are we going to start this party off, Mr. Rambler? Are we going to do this peaceful-like, or are we going to do this violent-like?
I say, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than to get permission, so let's start killing first.
Fucking A. I'm down with that, so let's charge and bite the shit out of. Now, of course, each of the parts will have different levels of two different stats. Not all of them, but there's attack stats. You got your four little slots that you got down here. Number 1 is generally bite, number 2 is generally charge, number 3 is going to be, I'm trying to remember here, number 3 is going to be strike, which is, a good smack with the hands, and number 4 is going to be spit, which, lets you spit poison. So if it's on the peaceful side of things, then you've got sing, you've got dance, you've got charm, and you've got pose. So those are the different things that could be on your different parts. Hands are generally associated with strike or with pose, and so on.
So essentially each part has its own function on either side of the tree, regardless.
Exactly. Of course, some of the parts will have absolutely no attack power, and instead will opt for much stronger stats on the peaceful meter, and vice versa. So it's all about picking your parts. Now, in order to advance, to the most effective manner at least, we have got to make species go extinct if we're killing them, or we have got to actually befriend them. And they go extinct when you kill a certain amount. Like, I need to kill 3 of the tonk species that I've decided to start having fun with.
Not a very strong population, that just takes 3 to take the entire species out.
Well, this is early yet in their environment, so to speak. So, we have just made extinct an entire species. I'm going to switch over to peaceful now. And we're going to see if we can make friends with the Chunfa.
Hey look, those last guys are dicks, but you guys, totally with you.
Absolutely. I always go for the alphas first because they're guaranteed to drop a part. And there's no more alphas in this nest, so let's just go ahead and make friends here. You just gotta respond to whatever it is they're doing, and for the most part in the early stages, these guys are gonna be doing nothing but singing because they don't have the parts to do anything else with. So, simple. And I have reached enough experience to get some brain power. I've got to do
Oh my god, what has God made me into?
What are these boobs? Are these spikes? Brain
Why do I
power!
have swords for arms?
Brain power! You've grown a little smarter and taken your first step towards sentience. You have earned the ability to entice an ally to join your pack and help you on your adventures. So now we can actually bring a second person along to help us kill or befriend. And I don't usually like to do anything related to upgrading myself until I've hit the next level of brain power. So I've just got to keep track, try to do equal amounts of killing and befriending, and we can keep track of our history with that. Bears mentioning that you start off each new stage kind of skewed towards your particular thing. So let's say you went through the cell stage as a carnivore, then you would have to do quite a bit more work to get yourself into the omnivore range. And same thing with herbivore. So, we're starting ourselves off. You would have to do, like I said, a lot more work to get yourself up into other ranges. But folks do things like red, green, blue, whatever. There are ways to skew your tendencies when you are in mid-stage. Now, one thing that kind of sucks just a little bit is that in the creature stage, even if you've got your brain power meter all the way to maximum, everything you do is still affecting your leaning. So we really have to kind of be cautious on how we're handling things. If we want to check how we're doing, if we're still trying to gather more parts, then unfortunately when the brain power fills up, you hit your history meter, that means you're moving on to the next stage, buddy. You're committed. So then, let's go ahead and get ourselves mated. I know that there's a key command for that. Backspace, there we go. So you send out a mating call, and somebody here wants to make love. So the Baraka epidermis. That was what we named our creatures.
I believe so. Let's see if we can come up with something even more horrifying.
Yes. These flesh monsters that have emerged from the deep with their off-brand eyes need to be changed.
Even more off-brand eyes?
We'll see. We'll see. We get more parts available to us. So, first things first, let's do something about this shiny coat of ours. It's a little bit fleshy, and I don't know. What do you think for the next phase of color? What are you looking at?
Just see if I come up with anything even more monstrous.
This looks like something you'd want to end up with.
Yeah, let's go with that.
We'll go with that. And so now we have got to really start thinking about our parts. So I'm going to tug off all of these things here. No mouth, nothing. So let's start to select from the eyes. Optic orb, which looks like this. Or larva eye, which looks like this. We've also got empty eyes, which are just black windows into the soul. So what do you think?
You can't have two sets of eyes, can you? Or mix them up a bit?
We can, indeed.
I say let's go with the black soulless eyes and one of those larvae eyes.
Okay, so one empty eyes. Gonna put it right about here, and one larvae.
And let's put that in the back of the head.
That makes all the sense in the world. Get the fuck back there. There we go. So if that's the case, let's just center our one eye.
No, leave that off center.
Oh boy. We are going to have to make this dignified at some point, so just letting you know that. One other thing to keep track of is your complexity meter, and that kind of keeps you from getting a little bit too crazy with the parts. So if the complexity meter fills up too much, then we have got to start taking off. So we can't just go divvying up our efforts, having one of each type of powerful hand and one of each type of thing. We have got to prioritize. So let's talk about mouths. Let's see, probably the closest thing we're going to reach to a kangaroo thing is going to be the sauropods, but nice muzzle tough. No. Let's go with the sauropods for right now.
So this no longer dictates of what we can eat, right?
No. It kind of does, because we have the main thing that is affected in the creature stage coming from the cell stages, which mounts you get. That's the only real difference that the cell stage makes and what's available for you in the creature stage. So we have nothing but omnivore mounts here. If we had gone all carnivore in the cell stage, we would have nothing but carnivore mounts, likewise herbivore mounts if we went with complete herbivore.
Right.
I'm kind of liking that mouth, actually. That's decent. It's got a nice bone ridge on top.
Yeah. Yeah, let's stick with that.
Alright, so now we gotta look at arms. And we don't have a lot of choices. We can do some real bug-like monster shit. But again, we're trying to go for a kangaroo kind of a look. Now, this particular leg looks a little bit more suited to kangaroos. Little bit, yeah, it looks about right. We can swole up various parts of the joints here, so what do you think? Should we beef these legs up a bit? You are mute, sir.
I say very large thighs with tiny ankles.
Let's go for it. Yeah, I'm
He
down
looks so
with that.
proud of himself.
I am down with that. Alright, so we got Slack Wrist, Meekling, and Deltroid. These are our first arms. So Deltroid, kind of slightly muscular. Slack Wrist, somewhat more limp. Meekling, well, those look actually pretty beefy.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Alrighty, and of course we can swole up joints or not, so let's just make shoulders like fucking ridiculous.
Let's turn into a Popeye kind of thing.
Oh, well then we need to go completely the opposite of what we're doing then. Ah, I'm strong to the finish.
Muscles,
What's that?
those actually aren't muscles, they're tumors.
Fucking asshole. Anyways, so we've got our basics down, you know, some basic legs and some basic arms. We don't have much of anything in the way of attack because these are basic hands, so since strike is one of the more powerful things, we need to look towards doing that. But we also got to remember that we have a pose effect that we have to keep on top of. So if we go with this particular thing, then we can have equal amounts of strike and pose. Likewise with bone sticklers, and likewise with the fat langes. And this stuff just kind of tends, you know, we could have lobster claws, but that locks us into pose. And we want to be able to equal pose and also strike. So, what do you think? Bone sticklers? Or we could do nub knuckles? Or we can do fat langes. Again, if you're on mute, keep track of that shit.
Oh, sorry. Bone knuckles, that is.
Bone knuckles? Oh, you want the bone stickler?
Yeah, bone stickler, there we go.
That is horrific. And we can, of course, rotate the hands if we so desire. How do we want their general demeanor? I guess since they're going to be like a race of traders, like, come on, you give money. Come on. No?
Man gets surgery for a second eye. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a fifth eye.
Oh my god. That's a little bit much. Although, yeah, look at... Those are some fucked up claws right there.
Yeah.
What have we done to ourselves? Anyways, let's move on to the next stage here. Feet. Those dictate dance or charge, and I'm not all that worried about charge, to be honest. So we want to focus on dance on this one. So there's palm walkers, which is basically sort of human feet. Then we have stub toe. Actually, two paw is my preference usually for when we're trying to do the dance thing. But, you know, I'm wanting to mix it up, and dance is pretty good on this one. But also remember, feet affect your walking speed, so two paw is a good choice. Walking speed, level 2. Not much we can do except for the two paws if we want to be practical.
I'll go with that then.
So, alright, two paws it is. Which, that's just kind of boring, but, you know.
We're doing enough perfect things as it is, although we can still modify the body.
Oh, we can totally body mod. Let's give him a horrible curve to the spine. Yeah.
He's
And-
gonna end with like Andre the Giant level of back problems in the future.
And then we're gonna beef this all up, so yeah. Okay, the larval eyes being on the back of the head, the only having one eye thing, that is bugging me a little bit.
Alright, we can put that to the front.
Alright, let's actually go for symmetry. My OCD is killing me on this one, so empty eyes. Now we have choices regards the empty eyes. We can face them out, or up, or down.
A bit difficult to tell with this particular model.
Yeah, let's zoom in on this just a bit here. If we can. Can we? Let's increase these eyeball sizes here. Yeah.
That looks mildly terrifying.
And we can face them back a bit if we want. And that's how he blinks. Or we can face it forward. Come on, blink for me.
Just
Yeah.
looking at horror at what he's become.
Yeah, it's like I am somehow alive. Alright, so we got our hands, we got our feet, now we need to look at weapons. Now, weapons is where the stuff for... Well, there's a lot of strike stuff here, although that does come from the hands too, and we can totally go with a much harder strike if we put on the scimitar. So yeah, I like
In
that,
his
actually.
palms.
Yeah,
That is monstrous. Like they can't even hold on to anything because there's a big spike in the way.
that's the way it should be.
Very well.
So let's angle that just a bit there, and yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Of course, I imagine a part like that would be on the hands anyway. It's just...
It just makes sense. Of course, we could scale it down, or we could do other things like beef it up, or slim it down. Turn them outward, turn them inward. And that's about it.
Let's keep it as is, a sort of a monstrous claw dealy.
Absolutely. And of course, there's also the rocket launcher, which we will need for spitting. God, what the fuck is up with his eyes? What did we do? Awesome. So I do want a little bit of spit. And the rocket launcher, well, you know, usually I like to hide the spitting thing underneath the muzzle, but we can put it anywhere we want.
Yeah,
We could do that, or we could just mount
Oh,
them
yeah,
on his
just put him on the
thighs.
knees. That seems about the right place for it.
Where are the knees even? What have we done? Let's shrink those down maybe just a bit and see what we get to do with it. Yes,
Very good.
that actually works. I mean, they stick out like nobody's business, but anyways. And we have to have something for charm, so we've got the haycorn or the pom-pom. The pom-pom is just a dealy-bob, whereas the haycorn is a different type of dealy-bob. So bumps or dealy-bobs, what do you think? Again, if you're on mute, sir.
Dealy Bob's on the nose, I think.
So dealy-bob on the nose. No, that's the wrong thing. Pom-pom. Ooh, you know what we could do is we could go for like a whole anglerfish kind of thing.
Oh, that works.
Yeah, anglerfish, I like that.
Slightly, well, less monstrous this way.
Yeah, well, it's still pretty damn. Alright, so this lets us shorten it or extend it. This, oh yeah! Oh, look at that.
World's best Moogle?
That's the most perfect thing ever. Now, of course, unfortunately, we don't have enough points in any of our shit for any other parts, and there's something else to be considered, which is health. Health is going to determine the amount of HP you have, which is damn valuable if you're going to be killing shit. But I think we'll be okay.
One last question. We go to the weapons. You had that little club thing. Can you put at the end of that antennae?
The club?
Yeah,
Mace ball? Yeah, I could probably do that. What I can do is I can just decrease that.
Or,
But I don't have enough points for that, so
Right.
if we're going to do the strike thing, which, you know, we can do, we're either going to... The scimitar is going to give us more power. We can put this up here instead. It doesn't want to stick there.
Yeah, put on the eyes. We are horrible, horrible people.
It is pretty bad, especially now. Yeah, this dude does not care what we do to him. He seemed happy.
Oh my god!
Everything I see is blood.
It's all pain.
Alright, so yeah, let's finalize this, and what are we gonna call this shit now?
Oh god.
What are we gonna call this shit? Let's see what it looks like. All textured up.
No matter what pose he is, he just looks horrified.
Evil Big Bird. Yeah. No?
I was seeing something with Big Bird in it, and I was trying to maybe pick some sort of like Eldritch and horror into there.
Oh, gotcha. Big Cthulhu. No, he doesn't have the face. He doesn't have the squiggly face. So,
Elder Big Bird.
Eldritch Big Bird.
There we go.
Eldritch Big Bird. Oh, man. Eldritch Big Bird away. Of course, there are beaks. We do have beak mouth options. Like the two can't. But... you want a beak?
Yeah, let's... I don't know, I kind of like the mouth, but...
Oh. The thingy was stuck on the mouth. Okay. So here's the beak.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. That meets your approval.
Yeah.
Alright. And we'll put the pom-pom on top of the head. And...
you'll need whatever help you can get for charm.
absolutely. Alright, so yeah, that's our anglerfish weird thing. Can't put these on the eye. It's just not gonna work. Yeah!
Alright.
That actually kind of works.
Yeah. It kind of seems like something you probably fight like maybe 3/4 of the way through an RPG.
Yeah, it's like, you know, this isn't even my final form.
Hey, he actually looks happy now.
Yay!
Now that he doesn't have massive spikes in his eyes.
I'm kind of thinking that... I'm wondering if the reactions here have anything to do with, you know, their approval of the situation. But these knee things, I just... no. We need to face them down a little bit more. Yeah. Let's take another look. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Eldritch Big Bird. Let's do it. All this time spent in the design phase, I hope you guys appreciate it. I normally don't like to spend a lot of time in the design phases of things. I'm going a little bit more heavily. Look at the baby version. And they're going to want to probably do a little bit of a... this is the tutorial. The parent teaches the child how to do it. So we do the charm. And then they want us to spit. So let's just see how the spitting works. Yeah. Shots from the knees. We pose. Hey, buddy! We trade.
So you'll get race pod parts and
I
go to a race.
think maybe 50-50.
Oh, Jedi tricks do not work on me. It's been too long since I've watched that movie.
Yeah. And the dancing. We have a lot to be thankful for. So you gonna teach me any more shit? Or do I get to grow up now? Boom, baby, now I am a full-on adult. And because I am a full-on adult, it is time to attract somebody to join our party.
Like your parent. Oh, I guess, yeah, join your party, yeah.
Yeah, follow me.
Yeah.
So, we made peace with the last group. Now it's time to start killing. So, of course, on the mini-map down here, we can see where the nearest nests are, who we've befriended, and who we have completely murdered. So let's move on to the next thing. You're not with the party, baby. Go away. You're not with the party. So, of course, we start with the alphas. And I'm going to do a knee spittle at them. And these are a little bit more evolved because they're starting to get involved. But now, when you attack certain enemies, then they'll start to attract other people from their group.
Something I wonder about. So we have these horrible claw things on our top of our heads. Like, so obviously it affects our stats of like attack and such. But does that actually change the animations much, or is it still just mostly operate with the arms?
It does change the animations a bit, which, if I was of a mind to attack the short stackles here, then I could show you, but let's just make peace with the short stackles. It's easier to make peace because you only have to do it with 3 members of the race, but when you're doing the murder thing, you have to kill considerably more. Like, you may have to kill 7, and the annoying thing is that the nest may not have 7 in it. They may have members just wandering around the random world, so you may not always get the ability to completely eradicate a species.
More of a peace over war kind of message there.
Yeah, it's easier to make peace than it is to make war. But we just made peace with these guys, and now let's go attack something and assuage our masculinity. Now, the creature stage might have to be a bit longer. I might have to take more time in the creature stage on account of the fact that we are designing so much more. Oh, but the croons are already angry against us. They already dislike us. So you know what? Fuck you.
They're probably enemies with this short stack.
I don't know how that politics works, but yeah. They already despise us. Now, we could attack the babies, but they're not really worth a whole lot. And again, I want to focus my efforts on the alphas. One other mechanic of note is that as you make nests your own, either by killing everybody there or by doing the peaceful route, you actually do get to use their nest as a restore point. Let's eat their dead bodies.
So by restore point, that means whenever you essentially get killed off or something?
Well, no, it's just when you go there, then you recharge your health. The only thing left is a baby. So we had to do it. That wasn't even the same species. What the hell? You may have noticed.
Still count towards your genocide?
Yes, babies do count towards the genocide. So as you can see, there was a pod sort of sitting there, but that was a pod of a completely different species. So I don't get it. The game is weird. Now we have to be friends with the next group. But they're still podded up. There's all sorts of pods over there. However, there's also bones over there, so I'll go ahead and grab that. If you hang around pods long enough, then the creatures will eventually spawn. But I think generally when you go near a nest that has so many bones around it, then that kind of says something about who is living there. I'm just going to gather up the bones, and then I'm going to move on to the next nest, which appears to be one to the west here.
Can you kill the pods and still count that towards the genocide as well?
No, pods you cannot touch, but I can see here, just by hovering over that nest on the map, that the Skitcherinos, which is what those will hatch into, are going to hate us immediately. So we should probably come back to them after having made peace with the Meliles. Okay, we'll make peace with the Meliles. Hello, Alpha Melile. Remember, we are focusing on alphas here. That is the most efficient way to handle things. This is a charm. Which you'd think we'd be waving our dealy bobs around on our heads there more. But no, we just give a little shake of the tush. Right, there's an Alpha Melile right there. And as we're doing this, we are just getting more parts. Of course, the success meter regards peace is obviously up here. We have to meet the midway point before or after they do. We have to kind of balance that.
Right, so what happens if there's like a heavy imbalance in that meter, like assuming it sways one way or the other during the leading stage?
As long as I come out on top of that, then we're fine. If I come up short, if I'm not going to hit the middle of the meter before they do, then it's a failure. And on that last one, I didn't even have to act, because I had reached the middle of the meter first time. So, alright, the Skitcherinos. And these are going to be a little bit more challenging. We have to kill 5 of them, and there's only 5 in existence, and they've got a lot more health than I do. We should be able to lure them out just a bit. If we anger this one, he's going to separate from the group. And yeah, it looks like we're just doing the strike thing with our hands. I was going to say we're smacking them with our heads, but you know.
Well, I imagine it'd probably be pretty difficult to account for every single configuration, like with any sort of proper algorithm.
Yeah. So I'm just going to start eating. Okay, Skitcherino decided he hates me, which rightly so. I'm eating the body of his dead friend.
You might have some compunctions about that.
But that is a strategy you can use if you're taking on enemies that are a little bit more than you should be able to handle, is just eat their bodies between. We can also drop off and eat, like my friend there, he's decided he's going to have a nice bit of fruit. But no, sir.
Have you been eating a lot of fruit lately? I haven't really been noticing you doing that.
Well, we don't have to worry about what we eat now, because eating is just a function of keeping us alive. It's our actions against other creatures that determine how our evolution path goes next.
Right.
So, just eat some skitch. Spit on him. Me spittle. The fact that we outnumber the fighting ones is the only thing saving us, and the pull is also making a difference. And our brain power is going up again. Ooh, I can't handle the mind. More brain power, another step towards sentience. Your brain is larger, your stature grander, your pack now has room for two. Beautiful. But we did not finish making the Skitcherinos extinct, and I don't like to leave something undone. So, Minion, go take care of that.
Yeah, you never perform your genocide in half measures. I mean, see how many stories have resulted from that, you know?
Well, by definition, genocide is not leaving anyone alive to repopulate.
Yeah.
So we gotta do that. We have to extinct their species. It is the prime directive of evil. But we gotta remember our next thing has to be peaceful. We have to keep that balance. As you see, we are just barely keeping a tenable balance. Now, we can get away with doing a little bit more social than we could Predator, because you notice how our meter is sort of towards the south end of the adaptable stage. So we could get away with a few more peaceful actions than we could Predator actions, so we maybe save that for the end there. But we're going to finish off this episode with one final round of customization before we move on to anything further. Uh-oh. It looks to me as if our nest has been vacated for greener pastures. However, we can still summon a mate. One will just appear out of nowhere.
That just means all the models went off to do their own thing.
We are about to migrate to another nest, actually. After this round of regeneration, after this next generation has been created, then there's going to be a cutscene where we have to go find the next nest, because this one's no longer suitable for how we're growing.
Right.
Stop pushing me away, I have to lay a damn egg. Oh, yeah. We got these egg-bearing hips. Thank God it didn't do that inside of me. Okay, so new options for various things. Let's take a quick look at our pattern meter and see how much more horrifying we can go. Remember, we're eventually, in the end, we're going to bring this around to being something more sensible. Something you'd actually want to do business with if you ran into them in space. And I'm not going for the Ferengi here.
I did see something that looked like it was like a brain inside of a skin sack a couple of pages back.
A brain inside of a skin sack.
Previous page? I don't know. Oh. There it is, right in the... Right
This?
there. No,
This?
down. There you go. Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Different texture than you think it would be.
Yeah, I don't know. This kind of looks like you have like that thin, transparent skin that's wrapped around like some gray matter, you know?
Yeah. Well, we can look like a watermelon.
Let's do that. Just be different. Of course, looks like it's taking a bit to load.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We'll go with
All right.
that. So now we got to start thinking about parts. And these eyes, they're just not working for me. So we have new eyes available also in the creepy and cute parts list. We can do some very sexy eyes. Or we can do some even weirder soulless eyes.
I was actually thinking about those more cartoony eyes in the previous page.
More cartoony eyes, like this one?
Yeah, maybe that one or the other one.
I am happy. Okay, no. This one? We've also got stalk eyes.
Well, the head is getting kind of crowded up there.
It is. Yeah, we could use a little bit less of a footprint there, I think. So yes, we will go with that. And how can we adjust these eyeballs? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think, what do you think? I think
Make the eyeballs themselves bigger.
we can do that if he holds still for a second.
Oh, good God. Let's do it.
That is the next generation of how we see. We can also do these useless parts down here, the ears and such. The mantenna, the elfin magic, which is ears on our neck in this case, or the over here, which is basically ear trumpets.
On the shoulders.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Oh god, our spikes are clipping into our ears. This is not a species that makes it.
Always put those back on the arms.
That we could. Okay. A part that used to be on our head has migrated down to our arms. So we'll put those right on our palms. Have to adjust.
Frankly, this animal has to watch out for its eye stalks getting caught in trees.
Yep. Oh, look at it. Look at how they touch. Alright, so I'm gonna maybe make this a little bit less spiky. Where's the slider for that? And it looks kind of like, you know, hey, I'm an Italian because I'm making this a sign with my hands.
I still poison everything that I touch.
Yeah. Alright, so that'll do for those bits right there. And since we've got some room on our head, well, you know what, let's make some room on our head here. Our head is a little bit tiny. I wants to see you, and I wants to hear you. Okay, that actually, that does have something going for it.
Yeah. Whereas now the body itself looks a bit empty, as it were.
Yes, we can do something about that maybe. Have we gained any new arms or legs? Not really. Got some new hands though. And that's something else to mention, is that because we chose the Bone Stickler, then the first leveling up hands we get on the next round are going to be on that same path, so it equally levels up Strike and Pose. So let's see what our Torsion Wrenchers look like in comparison. We're just going to move the spikes up a bit. And we do have to increase the size of the Torsion Wrenchers, don't we? We don't have a whole lot of options as to what to do with this.
Still looks horrifying, but a bit more proper, I suppose.
And yeah, so if we do that, and then move this down in here, and maybe angle it up just a bit, and then we probably want to swole these up. So do this.
Right.
Maybe move this down just a bit. And the hands. Let's rotate these a bit. I don't know. What do you think?
What if you could angle the weapon claw a bit more to make it look like a more natural hand? Digits, as it were.
Let's see. We can
Go on the underside maybe, I think.
Well, hold on. We got to figure out where in relation. So over here, or do we want to move it around back?
Round back, yeah. That goes.
Okay, and then we'll just rotate. No, fucking. That's the fiddliness that I don't like to deal with. So we get those going back, and then we'll just tilt them in just a little bit. They're butting up against the thumb, though, so let's move this here. Okay, something is absolutely wrong with what we're doing. Let's focus this. Let's focus this. So move it around. God, that it's not playing nice. It's not playing nice.
I think that might be the best way we can get it.
Yeah. Although I want to just move it in just a little bit here, so as to be kind of next to the next finger down. And that looks uncomfortable. It looks like we're just coming into our own fingers here. Yeah. Because I don't want the spikes to go brushing up against the fingers. That doesn't... Then I look at the rest of it, I think, what the fuck do I bother? Anyway, that's enough time on the hands. Next level, 3-paw. Not too worried about that. These need to get bigger, though. I am down with this. I am down with this. And we, of course, have the next level of spitters, and also the next level... Ooh, the toxic Telsons. Let's get that out of there, and... Yeah. There we
I have thumbs!
Mantis thumbs. Okay, so what ways can we mess with this? Okay. We'll put that as a maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh, we can make it longer. Make our thumbs ridiculous. No, we're not going to rule the planet that way. Let's bring that back in a bit. And we also have this, which, yeah, it just makes it more or less deadly looking. Which they should look pretty deadly. But let's see about bringing it in a little bit here. Or bringing it out. It doesn't look right. I want it to be in proportion with the fingers.
I think you should probably rotate the fingers a bit. That might help its the symmetry or the layout, as it were. You see, like that?
Yeah, why not?
Alright.
And of course, the knee thing's got to go. Now this, the spray boucher, that is as likely a butthole as I've ever seen.
I was going to suggest maybe putting those in the palms or something like that.
And let's see what we can do with those.
It's getting a bit busy down there, though, but...
We can tilt them around, but yeah, we can lower these to the palms. That'll work. Now, you know, there is something we haven't done yet. Make him taller. Which, I think that's better proportions to the overall body, don't you?
A little bit. Might want to expand on the knees a bit.
The knees? Which ones? The front knees or the back?
Oh, back ones, I think.
And the front ones a little bit, too.
Now it actually looks like it'll be able to support itself.
Exactly. Okay, so the next level of thing to do. And we can do... if we take away our little pom-pom thingy, we can either do a squiggly bob, which is, you know, a charm thing, and we could do that with it, or we could do that with it. I want to keep it that lovely springly thingly ding. But do we want to put that somewhere else, maybe on the tail?
Might look a bit more presentable, I think, on the tail.
Fair enough. The tail is usually where I put my charm things, so that's not a problem. And then let's just see what it looks like all textured over. Come on, load in. I got more RAM than this. And the eyes are blinking out of unison. That is one of the best parts.
Well, it's an
So-
awfully long way for the electrical signals to get through both ways, right?
Yeah, exactly. Although, yeah, so let's not call it Eldritch Big Bird, although it is more Eldritch than it was before, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm getting more of a tree vibe kind of thing.
Neo Eldritch Big Bird. No?
No.
Well, let's
think
go
it's
look
something
at
with
the
the-
mouths again. Let's look at the mouths.
Oh, right.
Ooh, we got new mouths. Buzzbeak. Although the problem is, if we refund a mouth, this mouth cost only 25 DNA points. We have 2, so we would have to stick with a mouth from this particular area here. But-
6 for them. Oh.
But I did dig the Sauroclod thing.
You can have 2 mouths? What the hell?
You can.
I mean, let's not do that, but...
Yeah. You can have multiple mouths. Like, pull these apart.
Oh god, no. No, stop, no, no!
We got plenty of room now on the head. That real estate's opened up.
Yeah, no. Let's not do this.
Why? You don't like 2 mouths? Okay, fine. Alright, I did like the Sauroclod mouth, just because I thought that was neat looking, and we also have to consider the singing thing now. Actually, beaks are better for singing, aren't they? Yeah, they are. They have a higher sing level. And we gotta be more conscious of our peaceful points than we have to be of our actual, attack points, because with attack points we can make up for that with strategy, but there's no strategy with peaceful points, so...
Because this looks like a peaceful creature, doesn't it?
It can be.
Just don't pick anything up.
Let's just go back with the beak. And the beak... What can we do with the beak? Lengthen it. That's fantastic. Or make it real pudgy. Or we can widen it. Which
Everything
is...
else in this thing looks suitably wider, so let's go with that.
or we could do this. Or we could just go all the way out with every single one of them. That's his call. Merc!
Merc.
Merc! Okay.
Merc.
Merc. Merc! Kinda, you know what it reminds me of?
Eh?
Crackle.
Yeah, I could see that.
Maybe it's one of Crackle's cousins. Merc!
The inbred cousins.
Yep. Okay. Just tilting his head. This is beautiful. We have created just the best thing since God. But let's take another look over on the creepy and cutes part list here. We've got fluffy thingies. We've got whisker ticklers, which are just, I don't know, little bits of grasp, and then we got horror lumps, which is horns. But no, this is perfection incarnate, though.
No, I don't think he has quite the minimal amount of flair.
You think we should go somewhere else with the skin, maybe?
I think the tree thing's kind of lost at this point, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although we could make a tree, but no. Let's see if we look like planet Saturn, what that's all about. We've done this look. Although that is alien as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know if it really quite suits the look, though. It's very inconsistent.
It is. That's a little bit more alien, but still. Let's see what this patchwork one is all about. Oh no, that's just adorable. That's so cute. We need to move the legs farther apart, I think. Legs farther
It's
apart.
kind of like what happened if Sid from Toy Store were to design plush dolls.
No kidding. Yeah, let's give him a wider stance. Because he looks ready for anything. Yeah! Okay. That's boring. I mean, you're just stitched up along the back. What the fuck is the point of that? I find this to be the most garish one.
Let's run with it.
Oh, yeah.
With those shoes in there, look, his hands look like eyes now.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's deception in the animal kingdom, so here we go. It's the Murk. You can load faster than this Spore.
I was worried it crashed for a second.
It has done that. Go Murks! Go Murk Army. Bye!
Yeah, I'll just stay back here.
Guarding the eggs. And they kind of give you a moment like, oh, the eggs aren't going to hatch. Oh, and then they hatch. And the babies are somehow weirder. Oh, the Murk. Your species is migrating to a new nest. Follow them to find a mate and claim a new home base. So, since we have room in our party for a third, let's see, who's with us already? Okay, this guy. That was a pose. And it's impossible to lose a friendliness contest with someone who is in your troop, who is one of your species, because they are exactly equal to your abilities. So anyways, I think, let me come out into the light here. I think that'll do for today. So, gaze upon the Murk. And let's try to remember what the last thing we did was. The last thing we did was murder, so the next thing we have to do has to be peaceful. So just, we're on the peaceful meter now, and starting up on our next episode, we will continue our omnivorous run. So once again, I want to thank everybody for watching. Once again, my name is Alex, also known as Solinus Dracone, and with me as always is the Blessed Rambler 81. Goodbye, Rambler.
See ya.